What is up, everybody? Right on for joining me. Welcome to the Gold Shack. For those of you that haven't been here before, my name is Prospector Jerry. I am your host and your guide and the guy that you're going to interact with. So tonight we have a really cool show. I have a lot of stuff to process and it's really rich. Basically, I did about 3 different trips and I saved all the concentrates from those 3 trips. So I have 3 times the amount of stuff to run, and we should be getting some pretty good gold this trip, or this run. So very interesting. I got me a seat finally. I went down to the thrift store and bought a bar stool, so I could sit down and not have to stand here for hours. That'll maybe make things a little bit better. I've changed things up a little bit. Yeah, tonight's going to be a good show. I don't know if you can see, but we got over here, these are our cons. I labeled them, 1, 2, and 3 from each trip, so I know what's what when we show it. Yeah, it's pretty hot in here. It's been pretty hot out here in California the last couple of days, and I'm in the garage, and it's, I got it closed off, and it is hot, so excuse me if I'm sweating like a pig. I don't mean to, but I'm under all these lights and stuff, so we'll get down to it here in just a minute. I'm just going to kind of check on things, see who's joining us. Adobe, man. I got the Goonies here. Hey, check it out. I don't know if I showed you guys this, but I put it up here. I got the Goonie rock. Like in the Goonies, they got that thing and they look through it and they see, the lighthouse and stuff. Yeah, it's the Goonie rock. Supposedly, you look through that bad boy and it'll show you where the treasure is. We'll have to test it out one day. Goonie power, man. Right on. Mike, what is up, buddy? Glad you stopped by. You guys freaking rock, man. You guys are mans of your words. What else could I ask for, man? You guys are freaking awesome. Got everybody coming in here tonight. Paul Campbell. So, let's get down to business here. I'll show you guys what I got. This is our 100 mesh. Not very much of it, but man, oh man, this stuff is rich. See, there's very, very little of this minus 100 mesh. But man, you can almost see underneath it. You guys can't see it, but you could see the gold. It's just lots in there. So looking forward to that. We're going to run this stuff first. Like I said, these are all 3 separate. These cons came from 3 separate trips, but I combined all of the stuff that I would normally run in the blue bowl. So they're all together in the minus 100 mesh and the minus 50. Everything above that I've already panned out, and that's what we have in these 3 separate bottles, so we could take a look at that. But all the gold out of the blue bowl is all the trips combined. Yeah, so just so you guys kind of know what's going on here. Zane, holy cow, man. Right on, dude. This is what I'm talking about, man. You need to come up here, come up to Northern California, and we will dig some gold, man. I got some spots. We can make it happen. Get Cal Sherpa up here. Make a stop, on your way to Alaska, whatever. We will get some gold. I will put you guys on some gold, for sure. Some beautiful land, too. We'll go on a straight adventure, Goonie style. Freaking Hobo Nation Army style. That's right, Mike. It is good. It's a great tool for this fine gold. We are going to start it off here. I'm slacking. Look, I'm all starstruck. I got all my buddies in here. Let's see. Turn that back. Ooh, we will start getting some gold here. And I'll put some gold in here, I'll put some concentrates in here, and then I'll break down. We'll start showing you guys some of this gold that we already panned down. It's pretty good. I'm expecting at least a couple grams of gold from this stuff. Hell yeah. Look at, I'm getting all soaped out. I put a little bit of soap in here to help with the gold from floating, and it's getting all bubbled up. Put some of this in her. Oh yeah, this is going to be some good stuff. I've been waiting for this. Like I said, this is 3 trips worth of stuff. I did all 3 of these trips in 1 week. I had some time off. We had the holiday, and basically I went out once with my buddy Eric. We got good gold that day. And then I came back to the same spot with my daughter since she's out of school, and we kind of messed around, and I put her to work, man. I had her digging for me. She was loving it. I had her out there all day, and she was crying to not leave when we went home. She was saying that she wanted to live out there. I was like, I want to live out here too. But yeah, and then she had so much fun. We went back on the 4th. That was like a couple days later. We went back up there and got even more gold. That stuff's running down good. So let me show you guys some of this gold here. Silver King, what is up, buddy? Silver King is the man with the silver. I was just in the pawn shop like right before the show. I was getting some food, and I stopped in this pawn shop right next to where I was eating, because I always go in there and I buy silver sometimes too. They didn't have anything for me this time, but I am definitely about silver too. Look at that gold. That's a nice little ring of gold around there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Here, I'll show it. See, there you go. We got some nice gold building up here already. We'll let that thing settle down and we'll snuffer it on up. That was 1 tablespoon, or that's a teaspoon. Right on, Paul. Appreciate it, man. So yeah, this is where all this gold came from, is behind me. It's on a loop, but this is from the trip, basically. Each time I go out on these trips, I have a different backdrop from the trip that the gold came from. So kind of cool. All right, trip number 1. This is going to be the best one here. This gold was from the day that me and Eric went, and we were sluicing, and we just busted our tails that day and did as much digging as possible, and it shows because we got some pretty good gold that day. Let's steal the camera over here. What is up, Top Cat? Right on for joining, brother. Oh yeah. So this is our coarser gold. This is from one day. I'm telling you, man, Zane, been trying to tell you need to come up here. You won't want to leave. So that's from the first day of me and Eric sluicing. That's all the coarse stuff from that day. That probably right there is about a pennyweight, I'm thinking. At least a gram. Just catching up. Sometimes I'm looking down here if I'm not talking to you guys. I'm just catching up on the chat and seeing who's in here and what's going on. I don't have me in Adobe, unfortunately. That's like a priceless tool right there, man. A buddy and a pal and a confidant. What's up, Josh? In the shed, in the shack. All gold everywhere, man. All good. Let's get this gold swept up. I'll play some footage for you here in a minute of the trip. I will say that I had a bunch of footage all lined up for you guys, man. Like I said, I went on 3 trips and I had some pretty epic stuff, but I had to change things and it was kind of unfortunate. I had some weird stuff happen and we'll kind of get into that later. But like I said, I took my daughter with me, and because of some things that I didn't really quite think through, and some things that I didn't talk through with my wife, I don't think that we're going to have my kids on the show as much as I had thought originally. Kind of for a safety reason, unfortunately. It kind of sucks that it has to be the case, but there's just a lot of weird people, crazy people out there these days. And we'll get into that a little bit more, because there's a story and a reason why I'm saying this. And it has to do with an outing that I was supposed to go on with a certain somebody. So it doesn't necessarily have all to do with that. It's not all because of this, but it's just a general thing, She's young. Just keep her out of the whole YouTube thing for now. So I couldn't use any of that footage, or I decided I didn't want to use any of that footage. So I only have one trip's worth of footage to show with you guys. There was some stuff in the intro that I use, and I saved that because you can't really see her very well, but unfortunately I'm not going to use the rest of that footage. It kind of is a shame, but it is what it is. I don't even think I could keep up, man. You guys are just chatting away. That's awesome. So, getting back to kind of what I was just talking about, I'm not going to air too much of this laundry out for you guys, but I got to kind of address it because obviously certain things aren't going to happen. I've talked a bunch in the past about a trip that I was going to do with a certain somebody. Me and Victor Marshall were going to be doing a trip that was going to be a kayaking trip, and then it turned into a float trip, and we had it all worked out, and I don't even know where to start with this. I got a text message at 2 a.m. one night, and it was just this long rant, and it was literally like you could tell that the guy was drunk or something. It just wasn't right. But it was like a few text messages of this long rant about how I don't have integrity, and because I know other people on here on YouTube that I associate with. He has views of people, especially anybody associated with AMRA. That's all that I really know for sure. But he kind of grouped me into this group of people he didn't like, apparently, one night in his head. So we were going to go on a trip, and all of a sudden now I'm his enemy. So I don't really know, I'm a grown man, so it just kind of seems kind of strange and weird, and I don't know. I kind of bid him farewell, and that's that. But he kind of said some things that were kind of messed up and have no validity, and it cost me some money, man, because I don't F around. When we go on these trips, I get prepared. I was a Boy Scout growing up. I'm be prepared, man. He told me that we were going to do a float trip. I went out and purchased this nice bag. So I got me this really nice, it's a dry bag. It's a backpack, but it's also a dry bag. It's really nice because we were going to float down and do some sniping. And I'm all geared up for it. I spent some good money on that. For nothing, basically, now. I mean, I'm sure I'll use it in the future, but it just kind of sucks, man, that there's even people out there that'll, do you like that these days. I mean, I would get it if it was like a valid reason or something, and something came up, but texting the 2 o'clock in the morning from some drunk, it just was ridiculous, man. Yeah, I should have, Josh. It's funny because, I don't know, it's just so ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous. It's like, I've heard stories, man. I don't know. I don't think he's quite right in the head. On the forums, he calls himself Mad Marshall, so, there might be some validity behind that and some reasoning, because 1 second we're about to go on some adventure, and then the next minute, I'm some guy's enemy. It just was... right. Right on, Austin Ward. Half grown at 40, scout also. Awesome, dude. Heck yeah, man. That probably is why I do what I do, you know? I love the scouts, man. Growing up, doing kind of similar stuff, pioneering, and we were some effed up scouts too, man. We weren't no little Boy Scout freaking. Our scoutmasters were some rough dudes. They used to set up, I swear to God, at summer camp, we would go up to summer camp. I shit you not, they would set up a boxing ring off in the woods and let us box each other. Like, until there was like one guy left. I mean, like, no joke, we would get into tiffs or whatever you want to call them with like the camp people. And it'd be like, come back to our camp. We got a boxing ring. We'll settle it. You know? Good times, man. We got in trouble all the time up there at camp. Top Cat was a scout too. See? I never made it past, I want to say, if I remember right, like maybe first class. Then you start getting up there into like all the really hard stuff where you got to do all the merit badges and stuff. And once I got to first class, it was kind of like you opened up into the world, like you're almost like an adult inside of scouts, and they kind of didn't really care what you did. They didn't pressure you to do whatever. So we just kind of went and had fun all the time, went on our own little adventures and went on all the trips with them and stuff, and kind of slacked off, honestly. But I know a lot of people that went on and, you know, made Eagle Scout. That's a hard thing to do. Eagle Scout's no joke, man. Those guys should get some respect because they have to do a lot to get that stuff I couldn't do. That's a lot better. I'm gonna have to try one of those gold claw pans, Sean. Everybody's got them. I just need to jump on that. Just been lazy. I panned everything down to, because like for some reason everyone's, you know, well not everyone, but even Pioneer Mining that makes the Blue Bowl, they're the ones that told me to screen down to 30 mesh. And this spot in particular, I can't run the 30 mesh in the Blue Bowl. It just is too heavy. It doesn't separate like it should. So I have to pan that out by hand, I'm finding. So I'm only running the minus 50 and 100 in the Blue Bowl. I'm panning everything else out by hand. It's working out a lot better, actually. Sean was a Girl Scout. I was a Cub Scout too, Skittles. I was that before Boy Scouts. I remember doing the Pinewood Derby. That was fun. I remember I won once. Me and my dad built this fast car. It was like nothing. It was just this little tiny thin piece of wood, like nothing to it, and it was like full of lead. Just a little tiny bit of wood and all lead. It's a way to do it. I think the majority of our gold value is going to be in this 50. I was actually getting a lot of good gold with my daughter. We found a spot of moss on the other side. We finally got to the other side. This is all coming from Adam Spot still. A lot of guys are familiar with that, with the Yuba. We got across the river finally, and there's just all kinds of moss over there. And so I just put her to work, and she loved it, just scraping off moss. And a lot of this really fine stuff came from that day because all we did was pan this moss down, and I did it really fast and just threw it in the catch pan and took it home for this. You guys are silly. I'm gonna have to play some footage here in a minute, change it up a little bit. I was gonna have 3 completely different blocks of footage, and then Josh, you still need to get me that footage. See, Josh has got some footage for me too. He's gonna have to make a cameo one of these days. We got to set that up though, because I was thinking about it, and I'm gonna have to like figure out how we're even gonna do like having a guest, because I gotta get some stools. I want like 2 bar stools back here or something. Then I gotta make sure we have enough room. There's not a lot of room in the gold shack. It looks like I'm out in the middle of the woods, but I'm in a tight little spot here. But we'll make it happen for sure. We'll get all cozy. Alright, I think we'll do one. I'm going to run the last of this right here. This is that -100, and then we will roll some footage. Can't laugh at my goofy hat. I was wearing my goofy hat this trip. I needed it because the goofy hat is actually a good hat for the sun, but it is a freaking goofy hat. I didn't really realize how goofy I was looking until I edited the video. I remember I wore that hat one time with my buddy Cody, and he's just like, "Why are you wearing that, dude? It looks horrible." Dude, I need my hat, man. I got new hats. You'll see I'm a hat guy. I love hats. I got all kinds of hats. So I try to change it up as much as possible. Yes, Red Man, this gold is from the Yuba. Still mining out on the California Gold Rush claim. The locals only club, still paying out. If you guys haven't already, if you could please hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe if you're into this kind of stuff, because I'm going to be doing it at least once a week, hopefully. I am actually going to be going out, since the trip with our good old buddy Victor got all effed up. I'm going to be taking the canoe out solo in a couple of days and have a really cool trip all lined up. Going to be some really neat footage from that trip. I'm going to hit a couple of spots. I already got them all laid out. I have a plan. I'm going to be floating down. I have a shuttle all set up. Everything's ready to go. So as long as I stay to my plan and the conditions are what they say they are, I should be all right, because I'm kind of going on this is my first time whitewater kayaking. So I'm taking it easy. I think they said the biggest is a 2, class 2 rapid on this one. So I should be all right. I've been floating with the scouts a bunch of times on canoes, whitewater canoeing, whitewater rafting tons of times. I think it'll all be all right on this one. Gold's hiding. More videos than subscribers. More videos of nothing. don't get me wrong, dude gets gold. That's the thing, like, show respect when respect's due. Like, Victor gets gold. I was juiced. I was gonna go on a trip. The guy's well known for getting gold, but it is what it is, man. All right, let's show some footage here. Oh, before I forget, check this out. My daughter found this. It looks, she's all, Dad, look, it's like a prehistoric domino. I'm like, no way, it is. I swear to God, this thing looks just like a freaking domino that, like, from a cave people were playing dominoes or something and carved it. It's funny. All right, here we go. What's up? You know where we are. Back on the gold. What is it called? The Locals Only Club?
Secret spot as far as I'm concerned.
Secret spot, yep. It's the Locals Only Secret Spot California Gold Rush claim. We're gonna put in some work. The water's gone down a lot. We're gonna see if we can get to the other side today too. But mostly we're just gonna dig our tails off and get that flower gold. Sounds like a plan. I got a nice path to mine too. Boom, boom, boom. A nice rock to sit on. I can even sit right here. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good. We haven't been filming much because we've been getting gold. Getting pretty good gold too. Been running tailings from. They set up sluices. Somebody else has been setting up their sluice right around in here. I've been running all this and getting good gold. I've been running all these tailings from, this is a big spot where they pan, where everybody's been panning. Good gold in here too. A bunch of work up in here. Yep. I'm gonna do a little bit more working with the sluice. I'm gonna start backing. Now I can get across the river. I want to check out the other side and do some crevicing. Bring you guys with me for that. Butterfly. So I only got a couple hours left. I'm gonna do a little backing. See if I can find some crevices worth backing out. There we go. Having the camera on much at all today. Got a guy down here. He said Adam sent him down there. Pretty nice guy. Talking to him for a little bit. Said he was from New York, I think, or New Jersey, Long Island, somewhere back there. Got Eric. Man, he's on some good gold. He started a hole and he's on some really good gold. I'm surprised. He's digging a lot, well, not a lot, but less material than I've dug, but he's probably going to end up with more gold, I bet. Wherever he's digging is just hot. So we'll see about that. I just got my cons dumped into the bag. Luckily he had an 1/8 inch classifier, so I don't have to carry a bunch of crap rock back with me this time. I've been carrying a lot of like 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch up to 1/2 inch rock. So really psyched about that. I'm gonna stop bringing the vac. The vac's just kind of a waste of time right now until I can get across the river completely. I could get across, but I'd have to swim. The current's just too much. It's still too deep. And I don't want to ruin the vacuum. We're gonna get out of here pretty soon. I'm coming back with my daughter. Should be good. I'm gonna be in a day or two, so we'll be back on the gold. Welcome back. So again, if you guys hadn't seen earlier, this is the gold that you're seeing right here in this pan. If you look up there, this is the gold. There's all the coarse gold from this trip that you just seen that footage. Like I'm thinking right here, that's probably between 1 gram and a pennyweight. So already a good start. So we're gonna do this next reveal from the next trip that we had. It was me and my daughter, the first trip that we did. And this trip we just did straight sluicing. It was, we ran the bazooka the whole day. Didn't really do much else. I brought the vacuum with me, but I didn't even use it that trip. And I don't think I'm gonna bring the vacuum very much anymore when we're gonna run gravel because it's just too heavy to carry out of there. So let me get that gold. Vacuums are for women. I don't think you'll be saying that when you come to some spots and you see the vacuum cleanouts we get, man. We get some pretty decent cleanouts sometimes with them vacuums. It's realistically, it's like a very specialty tool. If you're in an area that has fine gold like this and there's lots of it and there's bedrock and there's the right combination of things, it could really pay off, and it does. It really did pay off in the beginning, and it's going to pay off again when I go back up there. I need to just go up there, just do some vacuum before I go back up there and run the sluice. So getting confused here, sidetracked. So now we're going to add, this is the gold. This is the gold from the second trip. So there wasn't as much, but still it was a very good day. I had my daughter with me and she was helping me, but at the same time, I couldn't get far away from her. I had her running the sluice and I was only about, eye distance. So I couldn't really go to where there were some other areas that I can normally get better pay dirt from to run in the sluice, but I couldn't, so we dug really close to the sluice, and so it kind of didn't pay off as good, but still got some really good gold that trip. I wish I could show you some footage, but you guys know what happens, so not gonna have any footage of that. But we are gonna get back to running this stuff here in the Blue Bowl. Holy cow, dude, you're right. Mine in Hawaiian might be right. Look at that thing. It looks like it was like seriously carved. It just like, I don't know, she picked it up and it's just one of those things you don't see very often in nature, like that shape, I guess, of rock, like worn the way it is. It just looks like a perfect sized domino, but it could totally not be that. I just thought it was cute when she picked it up and said that. One of those things you gotta keep when you're a dad, So, we got a lot of this minus 50. Let's look at it. Quite a bit of this stuff here. And you can see there's gold poking out already up on the top of it. So it's got a lot of gold in it. We're gonna run this stuff. And at the end, I'm gonna do a weigh up of all this gold. We're gonna dry it up and weigh it up. And I also have the rest of my gold for the season. I figured it's a good time. You know, we're kind of we're not quite at the halfway point though, but we're getting there. We're getting close, you know, to about a third of the way into the season, my season at least. And I want to see what I have so far. So we're gonna look at that. I put a goal for myself of 2 ounces. I really doubt I'm gonna hit that, but you know, I got to try. So we're gonna see what we got so far. And that's 2 ounces for the season. Land dredge, yep. The vacuum is the land dredge. If they could figure out a way to complain about that, I don't understand, because you're basically, it's just aiding you in shoveling, I guess. You're able to get dirt out of cracks you wouldn't normally be able to, but somehow I'm sure that they would figure out that that's bad too and try to ban that. This looks good. It's hard, man. I need to like adjust this. I just bought this bench. I need to adjust it so I can see better. This thing's not going to work out for right now. I'm going to kind of ditch that. So Josh, we're going to have to touch base and maybe figure out. I want to go on one of those rad adventures, man. You got to hook a brother up. I want to try to schedule something for the summer, so maybe let me know when you guys are going to go out the next time, as much in advance as possible, and I'll try to take some work off if need be. But I was watching your videos and how you guys are floating. It looks like you got some inflatable boats, inflatable kayaks and stuff, and I have the hard shell one, so I don't know if they would be possible to use them anywhere down there or not, but that'd be neat to either do that or float down with this stuff that I have in some wetsuits or something too. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Looking good. Look at that gold. All that yeller. Yeah, everything's illegal somewhere. Somewhere, somebody's got a problem with something. Just gotta figure out how to not irritate that person. You'll be alright. Plop. I know how to rappel too, Josh. Like I said, I was in the Scouts, man, and that's another thing we did a lot of. We had a scout, one of our Scoutmaster's sons, his name was Stewie Patrignani. And this guy, he still is involved with the Scouts, and he used to take us up there, and he was just a freaking rock climbing, rappelling guy, man. That's all he was about. That and rafting and the whitewater and stuff. He was the one that taught us like all that stuff. And I've done a lot of rappelling, not very much climbing, but we used to go like 2 or 3 trips a year. We would go up to Mount Diablo and do a bunch up there. We would do a bunch up at Wolfboro at the Scout. There's a bunch of different faces up there we would go mess around with. So yeah, man, I'm down for that, for sure. Make gold teeth caps. I know I should be the next thing. I'm going to have my own line of jewelry. I'm going to bling out wrappers. Custom mother lode Prospectors chains. Keep it gangsta. What's up, Robert? Robert, you need to come on some more adventures. I'm gonna start making stuff. Like, I'm saving up my gold to make stuff with. That's gonna be a whole nother thing that we're gonna be doing here. I want to start making like gold bars and maybe even rings. Start making some. We'll have like our own little secret gold prospecting club. We'll all have a little gold ring from the mother lode. That'd be sweet. Oh, still not done yet. What is up, Chris? Right on for coming by. The Wands, man, is it that the river chef or is it the product tester? Which one? That's looking good. What's up, Whole TV? Right on for stopping by. Summer only comes once, man. That's what I keep telling my wife. That's my motto. She's like, we need to do more things together. You're all like, but babe, this is like the season. This is the time where I got to go do these things. But I also got to keep it out for the kids, though. We're actually doing something this weekend with the kids. Oh, and that's another thing. I'm like almost 100% done with my whole monetization stuff with YouTube, so I'll be able to have like super chat and all that stuff pretty soon. And for whatever reason anyone would ever want to give me money, which I'm not doing this for that, but there will be an option for it, and I've already talked to my wife and my kids, and whatever they give, I'm just gonna put it towards my kids. Like, they could do it for, a little, take the kids out on a fun day or something, or just whatever. Because when I was growing up, my grandfather, my dad owns a body shop. My grandfather was always down there, and he would always be doing little projects for people around town and stuff like that. And they'd always try to give him money. Oh, no, you give it to my grandkids. And so that was cool of him. So I'm kind of trying to do a little bit of the same stuff if possible. So, not asking for anything at all, but I might write that down there somewhere, that if someone gives me money, it goes to this, so. All right, let's get this going again. Because like what you guys will come to find out, Josh and whoever else is gonna have kids soon. Kids, they're not too bad. I mean, they're expensive. Yeah, they are expensive. But when they start getting to like my daughter's 10, I have a 10 and a 4-year-old. Man, things aren't cheap for kids at those age. Like what is it? Just even any kind of recreational thing. You want to play a sport? It's like at least a couple $100 a week, if not more. Talk about care. You better hope that you got that part figured out, because it's just insane what it costs to like have a kid watch these days, or daycare or those kinds of things. So it'd be nice to be able to get my daughter doing some more stuff, especially this summer. She was doing volleyball, but she doesn't want to do that this year, so I'm trying to figure out something else. Product tester and my spy. Recon man Farad. He's out in the field running recon. They're getting good gold down in that canyon over there. I marked it on the GPS of sending you coordinates. You see Chris floating up in the kayak with binoculars from a distance. My kid will start working at 5. That's right, dude. That's what I told my daughter. She's 10. And I told her, I was like, you're at the age now. If you want to start coming with me on these trips, I'll put you to work and I'll pay you. I could pay you in gold, or I could pay you like whatever. We'll figure something out, And she's like, okay, we'll do that. And so the next time we go out, it's time to earn that money. Yeah, that's another thing I forgot to tell you guys. So I'm at the dinner table like a couple nights ago, and my daughter says, "Dad, how much is a gram of gold?" And I looked at her, I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, how much does it cost?" She says, "Well, no, like, how much gold is it? Like, what does it look like? Like, physically, what does it look like?" And I'm like, "Well, it's kind of hard to say, because it could be in dust or a nugget or whatever, but I was like, I got some gold and a scale. Let's look at some." So I went and grabbed it, brought it to the dinner table and slapped it there. We poured out a gram of gold. So there you go. That's what a gram of gold looks like. She's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Well, that's not that much." So yeah, like if that's worth like $40, because I looked it up and it's worth $40 as a gram, just about $40. Like, I want to come with you, and yeah, you could either pay me in gold or, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute here. I'm like, we're not going to be doing like a 50-50 split here, because I'm doing like 90% of the work. You're just kind of playing with butterflies and shoveling into the sluice every now and then. We'll figure something out. She had it all figured out already. Right. I was given a lot of stuff growing up. I also had to earn a lot of stuff too. I was given all the stuff that I needed, all the stuff I wanted, I had to earn. Man, we got a lot of this stuff. Have to double it up. Oh! Getting sucked down the toilet. What's up, Central Valley? I'm like constantly trying to think of neat things to do with this green screen. I have some ideas of some stuff I'm going to mess with, I think, on this next, well, maybe not this next show, because the next show is going to be the kayaking trip, and just trying to, I'm going to do a lot of filming, and that trip's going to be a lot of work. It's kind of a good thing that I'm going solo, though, because I could do a lot better job of these video things solo. I'm not worried about other people or on their schedule, or not that it's a bad thing or anything, but it's just, I'm just more in my zone doing my own thing with the videos when I'm solo. So I should have a lot more video, a lot better quality video, and that project's going to be a lot to be able to do that in a couple days and bring you a show next week with it. So that might be its own thing, but pretty soon here I'm going to start playing with some other ideas I have of some really neat stuff. I'm trying to figure out a way. I might need to buy an older GoPro, like a Hero 3, because I have a Hero 5 and I can't do it for whatever reason with the 5. It just won't do it. But if I have a 3, I could use my software that I do for my show, and I could wirelessly use the camera, and I want to be able to bring it inside of the Blue Bowl somehow, or inside of here, or underwater, have another camera view. That would be pretty cool. Two more days, that's what I'm saying. It's almost the weekend. Just got to make it a couple more days. I am on that same trip. Cold melts at 105. Very low temperature. Don't hold it in your hand for too long, or your dust will turn to a puddle. I think that I'm going to add a little bit of dirt, and we're going to take a quick commercial break really fast, and we will be right back.
My 4x4, she's riding high while the weekdays they go sliding by. Weekend comes, we'll get down.
And this next gold was brought to you by Willie's Truck Warehouse. All your Willie's truck needs. So this is our third trip's heavy stuff. I know for a fact there's a couple nice pickers in here, so this is going to be a little bit interesting. Move the camera around. Look at this a little bit closer. So we have 1, 2 worth, 2 trips worth so far. Here goes 3. Guys, if you're in here and you haven't already, please hit that like button. Really appreciate that. Oh yeah. It's going to be a good weigh-in. Those nice pickers. This came from some new bedrock area. Oh, that's what I have to tell you too. Poor Justin, man. Justin's not in here tonight. Justin is the local. He is the guy up there at the spot. If you know who I'm talking about already, then you know. Otherwise, he's just Justin to you. But so Justin found a nugget on, I think it was our second trip. A nice little one. Probably, I'm guessing, like maybe between a 1/2 to 3/4 gram nugget. Just a little guy. But it was nice and coarse. And I heard him yelling across the river, "Hey, check it out!" And I seen him. He put it in his mouth, jumped in the river, swam across, and showed it to me. Spit it out and showed it to me. And I had my camera. My camera was filming, I think, my daughter at the time. And in the excitement, I ran over and I grabbed the camera. And I, for some reason, thought it was off. And I pressed the button. And I pressed the button to shut it. I shut it off. Basically, it was already on. And I ran over and thought that the camera. The GoPro session, man, it just has a light on it. That's all there is, a little tiny screen. It's not very good for doing this kind of stuff. Some ways it is because it's like portable, you know, and I could get it into some of these spots, but it has its downfalls, and that was one of them. So I missed all that footage. So I have no footage of his nugget, which I was, you know, we swam across the river for. Poor guy. Sorry, Justin, if you're watching this, man, but what an awesome piece of gold. And actually, there was up there, if you get across the river, there's a decent area of gold up there. You got to move some rocks, but be careful. There's a freaking wasp's nest, or not a wasp, but a wasp, a little black wasp. And I got stung in the back, and I swear, dude, that was the fastest thing. I literally seen it poke its head out and all of a sudden like take off the fly. And I turned around, and I mean, I'm like 4 feet away from where this wasp is, and I feel it sting me in the back as I'm like jumping off the rock full speed trying to run. Like that thing just came out and got me right in the back. And then I seen like 3 or 4 of them come out, and they're all agitated, but I had to go and sneak up and get all my gear from around there. So if you guys are up there, be careful. There is a freaking wasp, those guys are some bad boys too, because you know, they got me good, and I usually don't get stung. Like if I see them, I usually run first, and that thing got me. I don't even see how it got me. So be careful. So 3 days worth of some hard work produces all that gold in that pan and whatever else we get out of these black sands, at this spot at least. So not so bad. You guys are all welcome. I replenished all of your gold fevers. Check is in the mail, right? Be looking for it. Gold melts at 1948. I think silver is way higher. I want to say silver is like the one that's, you got to get even hotter to melt. I know gold melts at a pretty low temperature compared to a lot of other things. I think platinum too melts a lot higher. Yeah, see? Pretty good piece, man. It reminds me a lot of Chris's piece. Very similar. About the same size or somewhere similar in size. Saw Justin last weekend on the U, but he showed me a pic of that's awesome, dude. Yeah, Justin's a cool dude. He's always down there, man. He's we were giving him nicknames the last show. What was it? The Monday Miner. Mining with Justin. Or the Monday Miner. Something like that. Surprised he's not in here. I'm gonna have to figure out what the copyright rules are as far as YouTube goes with live streaming and music. I want to change up some of these jams and play some music. I'm not selling anything other than if the super chat's enabled, but you would think that I could just play whatever music if I'm listening. It's I'm listening to music that happens to be playing on a video. So I'll have to look into that because it'd be nice to change up and get some nice tunes going other than what I got. I like this music, but it's getting old. I got to get something new going. All right, looking good. Looking good. Yeah, I got to get this figured out with this stool situation. This is kind of working. It'd be nicer to be just a little bit higher. But standing here for an hour and a half, the only downside of doing this. Gotta be public domain. Good to know, Central Valley. Yeah, all this music's all off of YouTube's archive, so I know I could use this stuff, but the guys that I like, there's a couple of them on there. One of them's Dan Lebowski. I think that's his name, Dan Lebowski or Dan something similar to that. And there's another guy too, I can't remember his name, but they almost all of their songs that they have on there is all on my stuff. I love everything that they make. Dan Leibowitz, maybe that's what it is. Those guys haven't come out with anything new though. It's been a while since I downloaded almost all of the songs I liked off of there, and there's very, very rarely any new ones on there. So hopefully they start coming out with some new stuff for us creators to play with. Go. I can't wait to weigh this up. This is going to be a good weigh up. Is anybody going out on any gold adventures this weekend? I'm sure some of you guys got to be getting out somewhere. I know I'm doing the kayak trip one of the days. Where are you floating down, Rob? Which river? That sounds pretty freaking fun, man. Frankie Higgins. It's been too long. Right on. This is the first time I've seen you pop up in the chat. Right on for stopping by, man. Don't know if you've just been hiding out or I've been missing you, but right on. Probably gonna be, yeah, no crap, Josh. Other than that, no. Just messing. Oh, dude, that's a good one, Rob. That's a rich river, man. You could go up there to that Roaring Camp. Is it? Wait, is that right? I think Roaring Camp's on that river. Mineral Bar, man. Go downstream. Go downstream to the first bend, right above the first bend. If you go downstream at Mineral Bar and you'll look, the river just keeps going down. It kind of turns a little bit and then it makes a big turn to the left. If you go down there to right where it first starts to turn, you might already know this. There's a bunch of big boulders down there, and there's a guy. His name was Robert Betts. He found a couple of ounces right there. I know exactly where the spot was, right on bedrock down there, underneath all those big boulders. Some good gold to be found down there. It's just, I mean, it's actually not even that hard to get to. You could probably get there walking the river at this point because the water's so low. That's a fun little trip. Disc, I'm gonna call you disc golf extreme. He's a regular. He's gonna be out hunting nuggets. Awesome, dude. Hope you get some good ones, man. Hope everybody finds a bunch of gold. No weird, jealous stalker people here. I wish good gold to everybody. Getting to the bottom of this stuff. That sounds awesome, Frankie. I can't wait to one day do some dredging, man. I know all of us are probably thinking that. In the dry area, Central Valley is up in the dry area, probably down there, and where it's water's hard to come by. Dry washer territory, probably. I know, like when you start going down towards LA, there's all kinds of those washes and stuff down there past Fresno and stuff. And then you get down there by the Grapevine and it looks really good. And I've heard some stories about some gold up in there and some washes and all that spot up there in those hills. I'd love to go poke around down there one day too. Hey Rob, if you're still listening, cousin Rob, that float that you're doing, are you doing tubes? Just gonna tube down, or just body floating, or you should get a mask and snorkel and float down and look for gold, do some sniping, find some cracks. Exactly what we did. Get a little snuffer bottle, go find some gold, man. Guarantee it. Right on, Golf Extreme. Appreciate it, man. The furthest back east I've ever been is Iowa. I was there a couple years back for some training for work. It's a trip going out there and seeing how flat everything is. It just trips me out, man. I couldn't get over it. Something that simple. But I'm just used to seeing hills and just varying differences in land my whole life out here, I guess. I never thought about it until you go out there and it's just flat as far as you can see in every direction. It literally messed with my mind. I dredge every day here. You lucky son of a gun. I have everything to dredge basically. I have a high banker dredge combo, I've never even used. So I'm just waiting for the right time. I've used it as a high banker, but not as a dredge. And it's a decent setup too. Just can't wait for the day to play with that bad boy. I just want to be able to I could put it all in the side-by-side in the bed and just drive down to the middle of the river, unload everything, and just get to work right there. Put the easy up over you. I could do that all day long. Just pool floaties. Only you, Rob. Right on, Central Valley, man. You take care, brother. Have a good one. Good gold to you, man. Heck yeah, Josh. The old Dusty. Break out old Dusty. Get her some gold in her. Is that the big old doorstop nugget you're talking about? Golf? The kid with the doorstop? I'm thinking of something else probably. I know back there. I know that story. Big old gold nugget. Alright, I'm gonna have to go in and get me some water here in a minute to drink. Ran out. Take me a little bathroom and water break here in just a minute. We'll clean up this gold here first. Oh, dove in too quick. Looking good so far. That's some fine gold right there. That's all that moss. That moss paid off. I hit a pocket of black sand up there too, like no other. There's this little crack, and that's where all those little pickers came from in the last bottle when I poured it out. Just this one little, like a handful of black sand, this little kind of like a V-shaped crack. And I saved, I had on video half of it. I mean, it was just like half of it stuck to the rock. It was just all black sand. That was a nice pan. Yes, Conrad Reed, yep. Big old thing. What is this? That's a cool story. All right, I'm gonna be right back, guys. I'm gonna go use the restroom and I'm gonna go get some water. Right back. Okay. They won't let me on the plane without my shovel. You need one like they need to make a telescopic shovel. That'd be pretty cool. And like even the shovel end like folds up too. All right, we're almost out here. This is going to be way up time really quick. Getting to the nitty gritty. Dredging totally sucks. Yeah, everybody go check out Frankie Higgins' channel when you get a chance, man. Like, he's a good dude. He's been here since the start. Pretty sure I'm a subscriber already, but let me see. Now I am. Thought I was. Gold prospecting on the Mall River with my buddy from Reed Deer, Canada. Cool, man. I'm gonna have to check these out. It's awesome. Frankie Higgins. Whole TV, man. When you want to use that thing, let me know. I'll help you run it. We'll figure something out. Take you somewhere. We could throw it in the back of the side-by-side. I know a couple places you could take it. I always wanted a little backpack dredge. Okay, getting down to the bottom here. Hit that like button if you can, if you haven't already. Sure would appreciate it. There we go. Too tempting, I know. Got those gears spinning in your head, Josh. Too many super rad adventures with that. I know me and my buddy Casey, a guy that usually goes on the prospecting trips when we go up to where we call Paradise, we have joked around about paragliders, how cool it would be to get like the backpack, like, you know, how they have the backpack engines, and you just make, I think that's what it is, paragliding, or with the parachute in the engine. It's just like flying into some of these spots, like on the river, just flying down. Could you imagine flying down the canyon on one of those things? Just, oh, I can land right there. That'd be pretty cool. Very dangerous. I don't know if I would ever try that one. I'm like so afraid of flying as it is, but That would be pretty freaking cool. Or you could do all out like Two Toes and just get a freaking helicopter and show everybody up and land where the gold is. Oh yeah, we're going to do a guess on the weight. We're going to guess on the weight of the gold from this cleanup, and then we're also going to guess, I'm going to show you a bunch of golden bottles, and we're just going to, that's going to be, I have a bunch of different bottles from different trips and stuff we're going to do a weigh up of the total gold so far this year, and just for shits and giggles. Kind of see where I'm at this year. You build it, I'll fly it in. You could be my goose, Josh. And then they got these things too. I seen they're like as hybrid kayaks now that have, it's a kayak, but it has built into it a jet ski engine, like a straight legit impeller pump, and it's legit and it's very compact. It looks just like a normal kayak. They're expensive, but you could, there's video of these guys just driving right up rivers in them like it's nothing. And those are very tempting also. Something like that. I mean, if I had the money, if I just like won the lottery, I would just probably still be out gold mining, but with a lot of cooler stuff. I'd be like the Batman of gold mining, out there just like with all these gadgets and cool things. Spending all my money getting no gold, but spending millions of dollars trying to. Screw it. Molokai. See, Chris knows his kayaks, man. Chris is watching. He's the I know. I associated him with the kayaks a long time ago. He knows his stuff. This is the last of it, guys. We'll be weighing some stuff up here really quick. About an hour and a half so far, so that's good. Doing all right on time. Gotta break out the gizmo here. Oh, can't turn it. Oh, there it goes. You'll be my ride. That was pretty darn funny right there, Josh. Holy gee willikers, Josh. Look at all that gold we uncovered. Top Cat would have pack people. He'd be out there with a whip. Pay you extra to whip you. Like I did, that guy didn't sign up for the whipping. He doesn't get whipped, but the rest of them were cool with it. So you got to pay him a little bit extra though. You can whip them. Bring all of your stuff in for you. Whoa. Need to pay attention. Uh-oh, computer's making noises. Hopefully that's not a bad noise. Alright. And that is the end of the cons. We can start drying and weighing some stuff up here now. Snuffer bottles came in handy. You know what's funny is I bought this one and I've had this one forever. Like, this is a GPAA snuffer bottle. It comes in like the kit. But then I bought this one not that long ago, and then I found these two this first trip out with my daughter. So I came up on a bunch of snuffer bottles and I actually needed them all and used them. So that was awesome. Oregon Gold Hunter. Right on, buddy. Right on for dropping by. You came right at the right time. This is when we're about to weigh up all the gold. Get that gold shot. Make you want to go out and dig some gold. All right, and that looks like it's it. We'll shut her down. Cut back on the noise. Okay, we'll get set up for some drying here. Seriously though, I think we were all programmed, like it's in our DNA somewhere to like really like gold. I think there is something to that, and gold fever is like real. All right, let's get our gold back carefully. Floated under here. For those of you who haven't seen yet, this is all of our coarse gold from 3 different trips. Get rid of some of this gross water. It's all from the old water before I change it out, so it's a little dirty, but okay, so let's add this fine stuff now. There's the whizzer. Mr. Whizzer. All right. That looks good to me. I don't know what you guys think, but I'll take that. Alright, and now I think I'll snuffer it all up into another bottle, get it in a metal pan, and heat her on up. Because I don't want to try pouring it into the little pan, because the little pan's a little metal pan. That'll be a disaster. Hey, but all we do out here, according to some people, I'm not going to name names, but apparently we're all a bunch of fakes that get a bunch of pay dirt, and all of our gold's pay dirt, and we don't know what we're talking about. I don't know. I think that says a different story right there. All right. Oh, excuse me. Back to what I was doing. Keep getting sidetracked. Let's get this stuff up. The picker don't even want to go up in there. It's like I'm too big. The thing looks like a pomegranate seed, the way it's shaped, and almost the size too. Watermelon seed. Not going up. There we go. Not all of it. It's hard with that super fine 100 in there. And there's still a little bit. Let's see if I can get that last little bit. All right. Josh is saying 2.1. I'm going to go 3 grams. I think it's a little bit more. Thinking it's got to be closer to 3. But I keep going higher than it has been, so Josh is probably closer than to what it really is. I think I just want to see it be more than it is. Is that successful? It looks like it. What move any? There's like 1 or 2 little specks in there. And see, I put this, there's on the back of this metal pan right here, there's a magnet, one of those rare earth magnets. So that's why you see this little black sand. And this is kind of helping me. If I pan this little bit of gold, I'm getting that last little bit of black sand out of there with that magnet. That reminds me of some stuff Josh would do right here. That last little bit of black sand out. Try to get these last little pieces in here too. It's just that one piece really. All right. Boom fire 2.95. Top Cat 2.5. Chris 2.25. Like the Price is Right. Only if you won the gold, man. Yeah, we gotta dry it out. Duh. Let's get her done. You can't find gold sitting on the couch, folks. Thumbs up, right on. If you haven't already hit that like button, please do. Is that gold? It's a piece of dirt. Huh, must have had iron in it. It was stuck up there with that magnet. One of these days we're going to get down to these cons that are in this box underneath this. These are some of Adam's cons. Some California Gold Rush cons right here. Good stuff in there, I'm thinking too. Getting there. Hot, hot, hot. Hot, 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 hot. Whew. No, I don't want to touch it. I almost touched it, but I don't want to get it all over my finger. He stole it from me. Josh, I swear he stole it from me. Came up, took it when I wasn't looking. Amra helped him. Those bastards. What does Amra want with minors? What do they do for anybody? Bunch of lowlifes. Really? Come on. I could use the spoon. Let's stir the gold with the spoon. Oh, the spoon's wet. I'm going to try the spoon off. No, Adam didn't make it by tonight. My shows, man, they've been getting less and less. I don't know what's going on. I missed one, so I don't know, but yeah, missing a couple of the regulars. It's all right. We're still having fun. But yeah, I got a couple of regulars not in here tonight. Usually Ed stops by too. I haven't seen Ed tonight. Gary Sprinkler Repair. I don't know if he's out there. Right on, Oregon Gold Hunter, man. Same goes to you, brother. You take care. Maybe one of these days I got a buddy that just moved to Oregon. I might be up there one day. Might run into each other. Ooh, it's hot. Hot, hot, hot. I think we're about there, though. All right. Little adjustable table situation here. Uh-oh. I don't know, guys. One of these days you might see me ruin my stuff falling off on the water. Hopefully that's not tonight. I got new batteries in the scale, so no effing around this time. Oh, I need a piece of something. Good old Chuck E. Cheese. That'll do. Ow. Yeah, I need something to hold that. Gold Rush bag. All right. Push the buttons. Bleep, bleep. All right. Here we go, guys. Oh yeah, crushed it. On the nose. 3.5. I'll take that. That's like a gram a trip. Over a gram a trip. What's up, Jan? Right on for stopping by, brother. Always good to see you in here. I will take that. All you guys doubted me. Those lowball guesses you had. Look how much gold that is. Just look at it. Guys, just look at it, guys. Look at it. Yep, that feels good. I thought it was lower too. I was going to say like 2.5, somewhere around there. So that's awesome. All right, now let's keep it going here. I'm going to start weighing up some more gold. So I want to see what I got so far this season. There's that. That. And the last one. I hate plastic. This one's a plastic container. Sticks in there with static electricity. Awesome. So I'm about a 1/2 ounce, troy ounce, give or take. A little over. That's pretty good for the season. I'll take that. Freaking awesome. I was curious, man. I've just been holding off and had all these things put to the side, and I wanted to see. It gives me some motivation. I know I'm doing something right here, so that's a good thing. I will take that. Come back to the locals and only claim. Come on back, Tomcat. Come on back. Oh man, that is freaking awesome. So I'm excited. We're gonna do this trip coming up. That should hopefully get me some more gold. I don't think it's gonna produce like this because it's, you know, it's gonna be an adventure. It's gonna be the kayak trip, and I have a couple of spots lined up on that trip, and I actually think I might go up there before, basically before the shuttle is all situated. That's like halfway in the day, so I have the whole AM to play with while I'm there, and I have an area I might go do some sniping at. So I'm gonna go do some sniping, gonna do some kayaking, gonna have a lot more video to share with you guys, probably more video than gold on the next one, but I kind of did the opposite of that this one and did a lot more gold and less video, so it'll kind of be flip-flopped around next time. Josh, 30%. What are you, Tony Beats, dude? Come on, man. Gotta give me a better deal than that. Tony Josh. Get all of your gold, Jerry. I gotta read this. Try to catch up with you guys a little bit here. Andy, it took me an entire season to get that much. No, this is from about the start of the year, I guess, so halfway through the year. But I'm doing all this by hand. Most of that was from panning. Almost all the stuff that I did was from panning and sluicing. A lot of the stuff that you didn't see was panned. So I'm happy for it. I mean, if I could actually be out there mining. I'm not like mining, I'm more prospecting. I'm just out there kind of scratching the surface right now on an adventure. So it's good gold for doing that, I would think. Yeah, My wife would love to move to Maine. I'm sure she loves it over there. That whole area she's fond of, but I can't move up there. I'm stuck here in California. I'm gonna have to do what it is. But you know what? I'm progressively getting more gold each year. I've noticed that. So as long as I continue to do what I'm doing, I mean, I'm kind of fresh into this stuff. This is like my 5th or 6th year, going out and doing this stuff quite like regularly. So I'm happy where I'm at right now, getting what I am. So if I continue doing what I'm doing, who knows where I'll be at pretty soon. We could be getting a lot more gold than this. So it could be also that, maybe you're at a spot that wasn't hit as hard. It might have been overlooked for some other reason. I don't know of any gold rushes in Maine, so maybe you hit a hot spot. I just happened to be mining in the place that was probably hit the hardest in the United States of America. So I think for what I'm dealing with, it's pretty good. Everything that I'm doing is, there's been a guy before a guy before a guy scratching the cracks that I'm scratching, I guarantee you. So what I'm getting, the gold that I'm getting, I'm happy with, Andy, man. I'm happy for you too. If you're getting the gold that you're talking about, that's awesome. But I know all these guys in this room could see what I'm getting, and they probably would agree that it's not bad. So it is what it is for out here. Don't give Josh no gold for you, Josh. Oh man, that was a good show. I'm just about to push 2 hours. I think I'm gonna call it a break here. I can't do like Ed. I don't know how those guys hang in there and just party all night, pulling the gold parties. I get in trouble. My wife's like looking at the time. She's actually not here right now, so I could stay longer, but I'm getting pretty hungry. I need to go to Taco Bell. Wink, wink, Josh. Going to Josh's go-to spot. I need gold for beer, Tough Cat. Well, buy a dredge. I have a dredge, just can't use it yet legally. I'll buy you a beer. Right on, everybody, for stopping by. I appreciate it. Next week's show is going to be a good one, and I am definitely going to have some good footage of that trip. Hopefully I'll get some good gold. That's what I'm going to try to. I don't know if it's going to be like this, but I'll have something cool to share with you guys, and we'll all hook up and do the thing that we always do. So, yes, Jerry, very ambitious. Yep. Well, right on, Jan. Very, very true. Very, very appreciate that one. Cheers, everybody. Hope you all had a good show with me, and come back on the next one. And you guys have a good evening and good gold to y'all. Take care.